Welcome, students and viewers. We are studying passive voice. Now, today's lesson, I want to tell you what not to do. Many students they form wrong notions about passive voice. They see the sentences in passive voice and they differentiate that in whichever sentence there is by and something that is in passive voice. That's not true. This is not really the way how you should ascertain what the passive voice is. All passive voice sentences do not have this by agent or do not take this by agent. Now, let us see some sentences in which if you use this by agent in passive voice, it will sound nonsensical, unnatural, and absurd. Let's see. Now, this is the sentence. The police arrested the thief. पुलिस ने चोर को गिरफ्तार किया. Now, if I change this sentence into passive voice, we know that it is in active voice. The police is doing something. हमें पता है कि ये वाक्य पैसिव वॉइस का है, एक्टिव वॉइस का है, कर्तृवाच्य है. तो ये सब्जेक्ट, वर्ब, ऑब्जेक्ट. Now, the sentences we have learnt of past simple, the first sentence is in the past simple, he wrote a letter. So the second form tells us that the sentence is in past simple. This, let us take this as a subject. The thief was arrested by the police. Now, most of the students they write this way. Actually, just think, can anyone arrest? You may catch a thief, but arresting is always done by the police. It's understood. So, how you need not to say this by the police. Only this sentence is sufficient. The thief was arrested. Though grammatically this is there, but we need not to say it. It appears unnatural and awkward in each and every sentence to say by. हिंदी में भी यदि आप देखेंगे कि कुछ जो भी आप किताब पढ़ते हैं, जो भी कहानी पढ़े, उसमें पैसिव वॉइस कर्तृवाच्य बहुत वाक्य होते हैं, पर के द्वारा कितनी बार मिलता है? नहीं मिलता है, क्योंकि जहां उसकी आवश्यकता नहीं है, उसकी जरूरत ही नहीं है. अब ऐसे, जस्ट लाइक दिस, we use, say, they have found a cure for COVID-19. उन्होंने कोविड-19 का इलाज खोज लिया है. The important thing is first have found. The verb tells us that the sentence is in present perfect. ये हमें पता चल रहा है कि सेंटेंस प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट में है। अब इसमें दो तरीके की मिस्टेक्स बच्चे करते हैं। नाउ सी, इन दिस सेंटेंस what students think that when they change the present perfect into passive, they just have to use that been, B-E-E-N, been, and change the object in a subject and put it in the subject's place, and then the subject after the by agent. So they write a cure for COVID-19 have been found by them. Now, in this sentence, there are two mistakes. Number one, this have, and number two, this is not a mistake but a bad habit, not required by them. So the correct sentence should be a cure for COVID-19 has been found without the by agent. Now we don't know who this they are, and it is not necessary to show it, to tell. We are concerned about its cure, and the fact that a cure has been found is sufficient. So in such sentences, this by agent should not be used, where either the subject is unimportant, we need not to tell it, or it is indefinite, or it is understood. Like for instance, in a sentence that the police arrested the thief, that is understood. Only the police can arrest. So needed to say by the police, that is understood. So here, and this, here it was plural subject, that is why this have was used. But a cure for COVID-19 shows that the object is singular. So when the singular subject becomes the subject, then the verb is has been found. Okay, then the sentences of active voice beginning with somebody or say someone also don't take by agent in their passives. Like someone picked my pocket. Now I don't know who picked my pocket. The passive of such sentence is my pocket was picked. Now by this verb picked, second form, we come to know that it's a past simple sentence. So it's telling us that the sentence is in past simple. And the sentence which we learned were he wrote a letter was written by him, was written verb. That means was in third form. Then my pocket, make the object the subject. My pocket was picked, and full stop. Need not to write by someone. In Hindi also, if you see, if you in every sentence of passive, you keep on saying ke dwara, how absurd it will look. It's unnatural. So it's not correct. Then I come to imperative sentence. This sentence has crept into some unauthentic books. I can say, like, please sit down. Please sit down. This is a sentence which I have seen coming in the question paper also, being set in question paper. Why? Because it crept into some books by some author. Now this sit, this is a complete intransitive verb. Complete intransitive verb. Intransitive verb. In Hindi, you can say that it पूर्ण रूप से पूर्ण अकर्मक क्रिया. That means the passive of such sentences are not possible. This verb sit cannot have a passive form. So, but what we do sometimes, that we say that if such sentences are asked, you just say you are requested to sit down. You are requested to sit down. Most of the books in the market, or authentic books in the market, they tell you this way. Now this is absolutely wrong. No book published from Great Britain or no book published by the CIFL Institute, Central Institute of English in Foreign Languages, Hyderabad, or by the NCRT, government book, would give you this kind of sentence. Why? Because they know it's not possible. So, here what we did, this verb was to be changed. We were asked to change this verb into passive. And what we have done, we have changed it into an infinitive. And that to active. To sit is an active infinitive. Infinitives are also passive when you use to be and third form. To be written. The letter to be written. When we say the letter to be written is in the passive. So, how come you say now, and what you did? You brought a verb from outside and you changed it into passive and said that the work is done. Ridiculous. How's that? Now suppose you are asked to boil potatoes. Instead of boiling the potatoes, you cut them and you boil tomatoes and say that the work is done. Is that correct? No, not at all. Again, one more thing here to point out is, suppose I do the reverse of it, then I don't get this sentence. Suppose this sentence is given to me to make active of it. Suppose passive is given and I am asked to change it into active voice. Then my sentence would be, so we are not getting this sentence when we are changing it into passive or into active. This is the active sentence and this is the passive sentence. Then what is the condition of this sentence? Oh, what we are doing? Which is not possible. Why are you really trying to prove that you can change each and every sentence into passive? Now, someone said that he is a good boy. He is a good boy. Change it into passive. Now, this is a be form verb. No action is taking place. Why should we change it into passive? But still there are learned people who will say that yes, I can change this into the passive. We ask how? He says, now, he said he is a good boy, or he said that he is a good boy. Now, this is a noun clause. This is the main clause. We have changed the simple sentence into a complex sentence and brought another verb from somewhere else and changed it into the passive. How this sentence remains the same, but the sentence as a whole is in the passive voice now. But what about this verb? This still remains as it was. Aloo to aloo hi rahe. Potatoes are potatoes only. They are not boiled. And we say that we have done this thing. So these nonsensical sentences should not be made or try to make. And the other day I saw a person who's teaching someone how to make passives. He goes to school into passive. It's an intransitive verb, goes to school. How can it be possible? No, you can't do that. So don't try to do what is not possible. Read authentic books and try to know what correct is. So for today, this much. If you like the way I am telling you, explaining you how active passives or the method which I am telling you, if you like it, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching my video.